And welcome back. And we're moving into our first conversation for today as we talk about yoga for beginners. For all the people who've been interested and perhaps just want to try it out a bit before they venture into a class, we have Ashanti Airbender Garcia with us to talk a bit more about what we can do. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Let me extend to you, being that it's the 5th day of January, Happy New Year to you.
Yes, thank you. Happy New Year to you.
And we know for a fact that when it comes to working out and when it comes to yoga, things that eventually keep your mind locked, it's starting to trend in Belize. Like you rightly mentioned earlier, Malini. It's starting to trend in Belize, so we know that folks have been asking about yoga. So what we wanted to do now, we actually wanted to get to beginner's level. I've never done it. I've only heard about it. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what to do. So we get to beginner's level. Is it difficult to eventually put your mind to yoga?
It depends. I know the mind, there's this saying in yoga that the mind is like a monkey where it's constantly like jumping around from thought to thought to thought, because we go through about 63,000 thoughts a day. Wow. And when you're trying to do a yoga practice or meditation or mindfulness, you're usually asking the mind to just think about one of those thoughts. Mm-hmm. So that's why the mind kind of goes crazy when you ask it to think about one thing. But with everything else, it's just practice. And eventually the mind is like a muscle. You just need to work it enough, and then eventually it gets used to just that one focus.
And that's why so often you call it a discipline, because it is disciplining your mind.
It is a discipline, yes.
Now, Ashanti, we were talking during the break about the interest, the growing interest. Tell us from your end. You've had your studio for a couple of years now.
Yes.
And you've obviously seen how there are peaks and valleys when it comes to people being interested. Tell us what it's like now.
Well, the interest is really, it keeps growing every year. Actually, for my Wednesday evening class, I was tempted to become a little concerned if I would have enough space, because there were like, I think 15 people who were supposed to come that day. But I always know life gets in the way, and it just so happened that 5 of the people didn't make it, but we still had like 8 people in the class. So everyone was like, how the rest may have fit? I said, no worry, they would have fit. I would have found a way for them to fit. So the interest keeps growing and growing, and every day I get messages from people. Someone actually from Orange Walk, she messaged me. She wants to do classes live online with me. So it's coming from all over.
What do you find to be the motivation behind the interest that people have been having in yoga?
Well, for most of my clients, usually they come with a physical interest first, like either they want to lose weight, they want to tone up. And it's mostly females who come asking for yoga. Okay. So those are, I would find, are the top 2. And then slowly people who have like a different, more for the mind, like they want relaxation, they want to release stress. That's also a big part of the interest.
For people who are actually thinking about it but not sure that it really works, what are your clients saying in terms of how it helps them?
Oh, wow. Well, they say so many things. I had many clients start in December, which was completely like interesting to me, because most people are thinking about Christmas. And one of the ladies said that, she's already beginning to see like her arms are more toned, and she started in December, so not long into it, and she's already seeing results. And then of course the feeling that knowing you don't have to be stressed, that you can control how you feel, like that's even like a longer term benefit that people see from the yoga.
Now, to people who look at it outside of these amazing poses that you're able to pull off, when someone looks at a yoga class and perhaps they've never tried it, they say, that does not look like a workout. It just looks like, you're stretching your hand this way or that way. How can that help me physically?
Yeah, it's a little deceptive, because when you look at it from an outside perspective, you just think, how hard can that be? Like literally, even as I'm teaching in studio, I'm demonstrating, and I know my students are thinking, yeah, that's not hard. And when they actually do it, you hear them making sounds like, ooh, oh my goodness, wow. I said, I know I make it look easy, but it took, years and years to make it seem easy. I've been practicing for almost 8 years now.
Wow.
So, you know, my body is at a different place compared to someone who's just starting. But you can start from anywhere. It's never too late. You're never too old. You can start at any size. There's this misconception yoga is for skinny people. I'll go to the gym first, lose weight, then I will go to yoga. It's like, you don't have to do that. It can help you lose weight.
You know,
We've also seen, I mean, there's a great online movement too with some plus size models, I should say.
Yes.
Doing yoga in some phenomenal poses. And it really shows that flexibility that comes with yoga doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to your size. Your size doesn't necessarily matter. I wanted to touch on something else though. I think the proper posture, because a lot of people think they can download an app or they can watch something on YouTube and try it at home. What's your advice on that?
I strongly advise people to, if really that is the only option you have, then go for it. But the reason I came up with live online, and I realize a lot of people, they just hear the online and think it's a pre-recording. They don't hear the word live. And understand that live means we're in real time. We're using a video chat platform where we're able to see and hear each other. And I'm still able to correct your posture, correct your form, because many people think, oh, that's not so hard. I could easily do it. And they might not even understand the cues, know how to modify the pose if it's not working for them. So really your best bet is going with a teacher who is qualified and who knows how to work with your body. So that's the best advice. If not, if you're too far, like certain places like Orange Walk, I don't think there's any yoga teacher there, then I encourage you to do a live online class so that I'm still able to see you and correct your form where necessary.
how much of it is spiritual and mental and physical?
Everything. Like the whole yoga is harmony and union with body, mind, and spirit. So it's a holistic practice, and that's what I enjoy about it. It doesn't segment, you know, how we treat the different aspects of our being. In Western view, it's like, okay, if you want to keep your body healthy, you work out. If you want to deal with your soul, you go to church. Like they separate it, but yoga brings it all together in one practice, and so it's holistic.
What about the fact that is it like you have to get into that breathing realm whereby because we've watched the poses, we've seen videos, and is it something that tires you? Is it something that
It depends. There are certain practices that are really just for the mind, or you know, for breathing. For example, in all my classes, we do a little bit of breathing. So when I start, it's to like get you out of your regular world, working world, stressful world, into like your zen. So that's the first thing. So the first 5 minutes, we're not even moving. It's just to guide you to become mindful of your body, mindful of your thoughts. And then we go into breathing. So the first 10 minutes of class, we're not even doing much movement. It's to get your mind prepared first, and then your body begins to move with a warm up and series of other poses. So it's everything in one.
wow?
Yeah.
And I always tell people the most difficult pose is actually lying still
Yes.
and focusing on your thoughts.
Yes.
It is the
It
hard.
is
I mean, it's a very
difficult.
challenging practice,
wait,
but
wait.
that is, whew.
Lying down and keep
Flat on your, the last pose is most people's favorite
This
pose, but because, you know, the mind and the body easily, you know, wants to twitch, you feel an itch, but you're really supposed to just lie still and mindful of relaxing your body completely. Yeah, so
Wow,
they
you
say
know, I'm
it's-
thinking about it as we speak.
It's not impossible. I'm not saying I mean, you can do it. Most of us are able to do it, but I think it's just it takes that's where the discipline.
the discipline,
comes in.
yes, to lie still.
So is it something like meditating as well? Because sitting here and listening to Marlene talk about meditating, it simply means that you actually take away all that, and they say it's very difficult to meditate. Is it something like that?
Meditation is a part of yoga. I always hear people refer to it like it's separate, like, oh, well, I don't do yoga, I meditate. Like, It's a part of yoga. So, yoga has 8 limbs, meditation is the 7th limb.
Okay.
So the meditation, again, it comes to the mind. So in the beginning, you might find, I think people expect in meditation that as soon as you close your eyes, everything will just be blank. You won't have any thoughts. And that's like a big lie or misunderstanding. Like, that's not how it works. But it doesn't mean that when all these thoughts come to your mind that you're doing it wrong. I think people judge themselves like, oh, I'm thinking about this. I'm not supposed to be thinking about this. And then they think it's hard. Like, eventually your mind will settle down.
Yeah.
Give it patience. Don't have too much expectations, and the practice will get easier.
Wow.
Just try it. I think that's the ultimate point.
And to be consistent, like that's how you will see the results.
Now, there are different forms of yoga as well. And tell us a bit about the different forms that you teach, the different styles.
Different styles. Well, there are a variety of styles that I teach. Today, for the beginners, we're going to demonstrate a little bit of yin yoga.
Okay.
And yin is a completely different system than what is, popularly taught in this side of the world. Most people know hatha yoga, which is doing poses slowly, you're holding them for a certain time. Yeah. It focuses on the strength of the muscles and bones. It's very anatomical. But yin yoga, we're doing poses passively. So we're not engaging the muscles at all. We're more focusing on helping the joints to open in ways that are passive. So in each pose in yin, you typically hold them for 3 to 5 minutes, rather than in hatha, you might maybe hold a pose for 1 minute. But the point is for your body to have the time in that framework to relax completely and also get your body relaxed. So we're gonna do a little bit of demo for yin yoga. Yeah, so that's actually showing yin yoga poses right there. Some of them are similar to hatha, but some are completely unique to the yin yoga. Like the third pose is called deer pose, and that's, I think, only done in yin yoga. Yeah, it's a way to open the hips, the hip flexors, the thigh muscles. So we'll do some of those poses maybe.
What is your favorite pose? Like your most relaxing pose? Not challenging, your most relaxing pose.
Most relaxing. Let me see if they're showing it in this. No, they don't have it here. It's, the third row, the second pose in the third row, the corpse pose.
Oh,
that's like the most relaxing. And like when I do that for about 10 minutes, I don't even want to move after I get out, like after that time.
Next side.
Yeah,
the stretched out wide one.
Yes, the stretched out one. That's called the corpse pose, because you're supposed to be still and quiet like an actual corpse. So that's my favorite relaxing pose. Yeah.
Now, what about people who are interested in using yoga as a form of exercise for their weight loss?
For weight loss, I definitely don't recommend yin. Yin is like
relaxed.
So relaxing, and you're not even supposed to like break a sweat in yin. You're more, supposed to be relaxed and cool. But I would say if you want to lose weight, definitely do a style that is going to like get you moving. Something like a vinyasa where you're flowing from one pose to the next pose, and you're working your body, you're gonna be sweating, that your muscles will actually burn. Like yin is not muscular, but do a style where your muscles are supposed to be engaged and feeling a burn. And that's the class usually where people are making noise and saying, "You're killing me, Ashanti." Yeah, that's the class you want to do because that is the one that will bring the results.
Yeah, definitely. And so for beginners level, as we think about it, I would say, what should I have as a beginner to yoga?
Very good. Most people should have a mat, and it doesn't even matter your level. A yoga mat is pretty much the one thing you need to have when you're getting ready to do yoga. And also depending on the style, some water is good to have, especially if you're doing one where you're trying to lose weight, because you will get sweaty. You want to stay hydrated, so having some water with you is, I would say, the two good things, a mat and water.
And your atmosphere or the particular area you're doing it?
Is important because people might not know this, but different areas have different energies.
Yes.
So, if you're doing yoga in, like, let's say where a lot of people do hardcore workout, and it's not going to feel the same as when you go to a room that is only for yoga. You're going to feel different. Yeah. The environment will be more relaxing. And so you want to be in a place that is preferably more quiet so that you're able to focus and be more present in the practice.
Wow, I'm jealous. There are kids doing handstands.
Yes, kids. I love teaching the kids. I actually have kids yoga today at 4.
Yeah. How often do you do kids yoga?
I do it twice a week, Fridays and Saturdays. So like kind of when they're not too busy with school, that's when I have the kids
Do they
yoga.
like it?
They love. Oh, I actually had because 2 of the kids doing handstands, the one in on the sides, they had to leave for the States, and the mom messaged me. She sent me a picture. They're all, of course, bundled up, and she said, they miss your classes. They do love the kids yoga.
I can imagine.
So before we run out of time, we're going to do some techniques that people can try to get their first taste of yoga.
Sure.
So let's head on over.
All right. One of you will join me. I have 2 mats.
I noticed you had 2 mats.
Marlene is going to join you today.
You don't want to try it, John?
Not today.
So yes,
So I
the
guess
other
it's my
thing
turn.
too with yoga is it's done bare feet
I know.
because it's about grounding and feeling like
Yeah, you wouldn't do it in heels.
definitely wouldn't do it in heels. So you would be bare feet. You don't need any shoes. Sometimes people leave their socks on, but depending on the poses, that might make you slide.
There are special yoga mats. Yoga socks.
Yes, there are
grips
special yoga toes, like for your hands and feet, so that you don't slide if you're sweating. So
okay, you
let
do
me
the
go to the
front.
front.
I want to see the professional in front. I'll be in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you start, the first thing is to find a comfortable seat. Now, I didn't bring like my whole
I don't have on
props
yoga
and-
pants, so this may be a little...
Yeah, that's okay. So are you comfortable sitting like how you are now?
Yeah.
And we would usually take
You can
a
still
few
try, John.
Yeah, there's enough
Some of it
space.
is, if you want to take the front...
I'll be looking on. I'll look up there.
So once you're seated comfortably and your hands are relaxed, you want to ensure your shoulders are relaxed. You close your eyes and begin to become mindful and just breathe normally. And begin to relax your body from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Allow your belly to relax and feel how your belly expands and moves outward as you inhale and gently pulls back towards the spine as you exhale. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Relax all your facial muscles. And then set your intention. So you always want to set your intention at the beginning of practice, whether your intention is to relax or to get a good workout. Ensure your mind is clear about your intention. Then set your efforts and your attitude toward that intention. And when you're ready, reopen the eyes. So that's how we begin, getting you kind of settled. And then we go into breathing. Okay. So there are many, many different types of breathing. And what I like about the Hatha Yoga is that we do a breathing called victorious breathing. So when you breathe into your belly, that allows like the nervous system to relax and kind of change from flight or fight mode to just, be still. So what you can do is you can place your hand on your belly, and when you inhale, allow it to relax and expand, and when you exhale, it should just gently pull in.
Yeah.
All right. So you still want to
So
keep
this
your
is
back straight.
Breathing through your diaphragm,
Yeah,
like what singers do.
diaphragmatic breathing. And see now if you're able to tighten your throat and hear a sound as you breathe in. And hear a sound as you breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And we would do that, usually a little bit longer until the person gets really relaxed. So as I said, we will
almost, if people didn't hear it, it sounds like a slight snore. That's
yes,
what
it sounds like a very slight snore. Actually, in teacher training, we're taught that it's the same way how you whisper. Those are the same muscles that you're using to hear the sound of the breath. Yeah,
okay.
It's like feeling like you're breathing through a straw, like you're sipping in and out. So we're gonna start off with child's pose.
Oh, my feet.
This is
I like child's pose, actually.
We like child's pose.
It's very relaxing.
Yes. So
let me see. I have one.
in the yin, yin gives you a lot of options. So I'll show traditional child's pose where it's done with the knees and the feet together. And then you bring the butt to the heels as you've already done. And then the next thing is to bring the belly onto the thighs. And you can extend the arms out and relax the head down. And just to give people a little clearer view, since I forgot this is still on, that there. Yeah, so I want you to stay in this pose. And usually in a yin class, I am like massaging the person's back, and it would feel like really, really relaxing for them. So I'll just give you like a little bit of that experience. And just continue breathing into your back body. So you don't have to change your pose or anything. Just breathe into the back. And so target the shoulders, all of the muscles along the back, even down closer towards the hips, and let them breathe into that space. So this is one of the easiest poses for a beginner to access. Now, some people might find it challenging, even if it looks easy. So another modification, I don't know if you've done this one, Marlene, is where you take the knees a little bit out. Because sometimes, the belly might get in the way and things like that, or the heels.
Or they can't reach their heels.
Yeah, so you can put like a blanket underneath, and then you might find that it's more comfortable to do it wide legs, depending on the person, right? And you can also, in yin, you can do it with folded elbows, so the arms don't have to be straight, or you can have your hands by your feet and let the forehead rest on the floor. So there are many different options that you can use for this pose. Exactly. Good. So that's a nice pose to start out with.
So you feel that like in your back?
You would feel in your back, in your thighs, and it's a good way to massage like the muscles of the feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially those of us who wear heels a lot.
Yes, this is very good to stretch out those muscles.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one?
I think they want to see another one. They're
Okay.
concerned about time. Yeah.
Okay, so another one for in yin yoga that I really like to teach is called a variation of butterfly pose. So usually butterfly is done with the feet close, but I like this variation because you don't have to be like too flexible in your hips to do it. So this is where your heels are more further away, so you can take them further out. And you have the choice of bringing your hands to your ankles and then folding forward from there. Or if your arms are longer, because sometimes it's not that you're not flexible, but the length of your joints. So you can interlace your fingers, wrap them around your toes, and bring the forearms over the shins and then fold forward. So either one of them will work for the student. And the thing in yin is that we don't want to focus on putting the effort through our body. We want to more let gravity just pull you down. So you're not like physically going to pull yourself in because you're holding it for 5 minutes. Gravity will do the work, and in time she might even get to have her head touch her feet without trying too hard because the gravity is naturally pushing her down.
Being that this is a beginner's level, how long do you hold the pose for?
It is still for the same amount of time, whether you're a beginner or not. Because
5 minutes?
5 minutes will really get you loosened up in your hips and in your back muscles in this pose. Yeah, and you don't have to go all the way down. Like, you know, people think, oh, they're not doing it, let's say if they're here. If this is all you're able to do, that's where you start. You start right here, and maybe after 3 minutes, you find yourself here or a little bit further down. So that's what the time is for the body to open up.
And that's where deep breathing helps.
Yeah,
It
you
helps
breathe deeply,
yeah.
and each time you
Stretch your
exhale,
pole.
you might find that you're going a little bit deeper, so
It's not that hard, so you could have tried
So
it.
you could.
Yeah, actually, looking at it, I was
I wish
doing
I
all the
wasn't-
breathing
I was wearing yoga
exercises.
pants.
Yeah. So there, you want another pose?
A back, maybe a back stretch.
So there's one that will open
Carry.
the shoulders. This one is called Melting Heart in Yin Yoga. I always cover this one. And you start off on your hands and knees, spread the fingers, knees in line with hips.
Okay.
And then you bring your hands down and keep the hands the elbows as straight as possible. Extend the arms forward and keep your hips up because we want to target the spine as well. And see if your forehead is able to gently, lightly lower on the floor. And as you feel the chest melting into the floor, the back is arching. Yes, there you go. So this is opening up the shoulders, opening up the spine, like it's a very gentle back bend. So you're probably feeling sensation here, even maybe underneath the armpits. Now for this one, because it can be intense for the shoulders and the back, I only usually do it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then they can slowly exit. If the fingers get tingly, they can also bend the elbows. They can also bend the elbows. Yeah. So I'm usually guiding them to relax. And depending on the flexibility, like you may even be able to bring your upper body even more forward. And then stretch the arms out further. So that you're really getting that alignment of the knee with the hip, which will even further open the shoulders and the back. Yeah. And so after 3 minutes, you can slowly exit the pose. You won't hold it for that long, but it gets you to really let go tension.
I still think we should make John try one. Let's do a downward dog. That's not yin.
Yeah, we don't have downward dog in yin, but you can do Sphinx pose, which is another one that targets the back. And you would do it lying on your belly, and you can keep your elbows in line with the shoulders. See, like you can do this one.
Yeah.
You just lie. You don't even have to take off your shoes.
John's like, yeah, I'm staying over there. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah. You can go on my mat actually.
Yeah, the mat helps with the grip.
Yeah. There you go. And then spread the fingers and open the chest. So again, gravity is naturally pushing down on your back. So you're working especially the lower back in this position. And if at any time it becomes too intense, feel free to bring your hands more towards the front of the mat and you will get a different sensation. So it's a little bit less on your lower back when you take the arms out.
It's a different feel.
It's a different feeling, right?
And for somebody, being that this is my first time doing such thing, it's very nice, it's very relaxful, that much I could tell you. Well, with the clothing, no.
Yeah,
So
so
you have a better stretch when you're wearing the
when
right
you're
clothes.
wearing
Yes.
the right clothes,
Yes,
yes. And if at any time you want a variation, we do have something that looks like cobra, but it's a little bit less strenuous. So all you would do is lift your elbows off the mat, and then you get a deeper back bend. So you can hold this, and your arms usually don't get too tired, like how you do in the cobra.
Should you stiffen the muscle?
No, no
just leave
muscular
it?
work. This is like maybe the bones are supporting you a little bit, but muscles remain relaxed. Yeah. And if you do get tired, you can always come back down. Yeah.
Oh, that feels great.
Yeah, it's
We
nice.
should do yoga every morning.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
All right, try your child's pose, John, since you're there.
And what's the child's pose again?
Right here.
That one.
Yeah.
So I should sit.
And then see if your chest is able to lower. If not, you can open.
I need to take the shirt out.
It'll come out on its own.
Yeah.
All right, so here we
So
go.
you might have to do the variation where your knees are open and then you go down. And your hands don't have to go all the way forward. This might be enough for you. And then just relax the head. Because we really want to release tension from the. Yeah, there you go. And keep this soft. And then you press here. So breathe deeply into the back. Yeah, there you go. That's
There you go. You did it.
You did it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Really,
that's usually
really
very
relaxful.
accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing for today so far.
I like that I said the back pose because I know a lot of
People
I've
suffer.
realized how much you carry tension
This
and
right here.
tightness here.
Typing. You
To
type.
be honest, with the feel at this particular point,
Yeah.
I feel extremely relaxed. I feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's how you capitalize when it comes to doing
Yes.
yoga. So it's definitely something you want to touch on. It is a brand new year. You should get into it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So how do people get in touch with you?
So you can contact me. My number is 620-4230, and my studio is by Home Protector Insurance, 3739 University Heights. I also have an affiliate studio in Belmopan, and we'll soon have an outlet at VC City Spa, which is across from Memorial Park. So we're slowly
You're getting
spreading.
there. You're getting there.
All right, so you
Yes.
have quite a number of options, and of course you also do online courses if somebody
Online,
doesn't
yes.
have access to getting to a class.
Yes, so you can do online classes, and you can find me on Facebook, Airbender Yoga Studio.
All right.
Right,
Well,
excellent.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you too.
relaxing us a
Yes.
bit this morning.
Yes.
It feels
Thank
fantastic. And we definitely encourage you, if you're looking for something new to do for your body, this is definitely something you can consider as
Certainly.
well. All right, we got to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, from taking care of our bodies to taking care of our skin, that's
Yes.
coming up after the break.
All
Thank
right.
you.